परदेसी टीवी ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਕ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੋਸਤ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਨਿੱਘੀ ਅਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
Falling leaves उकाली को चिसो पानी खाइ जाउँ लाग्छ उकालीको चिसो पानी खाइ जाउँ लाग्छ माथलो घरको तरुनीलाई लैजाउँ लाग्छ आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा सिगरेट ना जो मो बीड़ी खानेलाई माया ना जो मो हिँडी जानेलाई सिगरेट ना जो मो बीड़ी खानेलाई माया ना जो मो हिँडी जानेलाई आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा त्याही तलाई सिमसराईमा दुम्सी लुक्ने दुलो त्याही तलाई सिमसराईमा दुम्सी लुक्ने दुलो बालो बालो पाको छोरो तोको मात्रो धुलो आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा सिगरेट ना जो मो बीड़ी खानेलाई माया ना जो मो हिँडी जानेलाई सिगरेट ना जो मो बीड़ी खानेलाई माया ना जो मो हिँडी जानेलाई आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा आगे आगे तोपैको गोला पाछी पाछी मासिङ्गन बहारा
When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know you've got a friend?
She's 75 years old and she's playing the violin with us. You believe in this grace? I have experienced that myself. And I pray that God will give you that grace so that you'll never despise grace. That's for us when we've been there. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, with no less days to sing God's praise than when we first began. You know, God's grace has been very powerful in my life. I hope that I get to go to Pakistan one day. God has given me some of my best friends from Pakistan. And I can only think of one pastor who did the announcement in my tape.
I hear the sound of distant drums far away, far away, and if they call for me to come, then I must go, and you must stay. So Mary, marry me, let's not wait. share all the time we can before it's too late. And love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me. I hear the sound of bugles blow far away, far away. And if they call for me to come across the sea, so wild and gray, so marry, marry me, let's not wait for the distant drums might change our wedding day. Love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me.
Open my heart goodbye. Thank you.
Both my mom and dad passed away. My father died in 1994. He was about 85 years old. And then I lost my mother about 4 years back. She was only about 57 or 58 years old.
We were very good friends, apart from her being my mother, She supported me 100%, with her love, with her prayers and everything, She was really cool, My father, well, I tell you, he was one of a kind. When he was younger, he liked stuff like big game hunting and going for skiing in Switzerland. And, he always reminded us of Howard Hughes or somebody like that. For somebody from his era, for me to play professionally was absolutely, In fact, as long as he was alive, I never played professionally. Fantastic.
I feel like a star tonight, standing in the shining lights. I'm glad I've come to your side of town. I can feel that there's some magic all around. There's lots of pretty faces inside, and fancy folks dressed in style. And here I'm in these lights.
Don't drop it there.
Manish is my RHM. That means my right-hand man. It's a very multifaceted kind of role he plays, right from doing the sound to tuning guitars to interacting with people, dealing with people, and doing business with people. He gets it done.
He's somebody I look up to from a music person point of view. I think he is my guru because he doesn't teach. He doesn't make, we don't sit and sort of he teaches and I learn. He just tells me, try and pick what I'm doing. It's an amazing opportunity and honor to, sort of be around him.
And I met a fellow last night. He's just flown in from India, of all places, and I'm finding out that there's not a great deal going on in the way of country music in India, but he knows all about Tamworth. I want you to really make him welcome, Bobby Cash!
Into the pub, he just got off the plane and, he must have been jet lagged, he must have been exhausted. But just the people going, who is this guy? He looks different. He is different. And he is. He's totally unique. He's wonderful.
Yeah, I could sing my songs on tonight.
I'll be back. Thank you.
In August 1947, India gained independence after 200 years of British rule. What followed was one of the largest and bloodiest forced migrations in history. An estimated 1 million people lost their lives. Before British colonization, the Indian subcontinent was a patchwork of regional kingdoms known as princely states, populated by Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, Christians, Parsis, and Jews. Each princely state had its own traditions, caste backgrounds, and leadership. Starting in the 1500s, a series of European powers colonized India with coastal trading settlements. By the mid-18th century, the English East India Company emerged as the primary colonial power in India. The British ruled some provinces directly and ruled the princely states indirectly. Under indirect rule, the princely states remained sovereign but made political and financial concessions to the British. In the 19th century, the British began to categorize Indians by religious identity, a gross simplification of the communities in India. They counted Hindus as majorities and all other religious communities as distinct minorities, with Muslims being the largest minority. Sikhs were considered part of the Hindu community by everyone but themselves. In elections, people could only vote for candidates of their own religious identification. These practices exaggerated differences, sowing distrust between communities that had previously coexisted. The 20th century began with decades of anti-colonial movements, where Indians fought for independence from Britain. In the aftermath of World War II, under enormous financial strain from the war, Britain finally caved. Indian political leaders had differing views on what an independent India should look like. Mohandas Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru represented the Hindu majority and wanted one united India. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who led the Muslim minority, thought the rifts created by colonization were too deep to repair. Jinnah argued for a two-nation division where Muslims would have a homeland called Pakistan. Following riots in 1946 and 1947, the British expedited their retreat, planning Indian independence behind closed doors. In June 1947, the British Viceroy announced that India would gain independence by August and be partitioned into Hindu India and Muslim Pakistan, but gave little explanation of how exactly this would happen. Using outdated maps, inaccurate census numbers, and minimal knowledge of the land, in a mere 5 weeks, the Boundary Committee drew a border, dividing 3 provinces under direct British rule: Bengal, Punjab, and Assam. The border took into account where Hindus and Muslims were majorities, but also factors like location and population percentages. So if a Hindu majority area bordered another Hindu majority area, it would be included in India. But if a Hindu majority area bordered Muslim majority areas, it might become part of Pakistan. Princely states on the border had to choose which of the new nations to join, losing their sovereignty in the process. While the Boundary Committee worked on the new map, Hindus and Muslims began moving to areas where they thought they'd be a part of the religious majority, but they couldn't be sure. Families divided themselves. Fearing sexual violence, parents sent young daughters and wives to regions they perceived to be safe. The new map wasn't revealed until August 17, 1947, 2 days after independence. The provinces of Punjab and Bengal became the geographically separated East and West Pakistan. The rest became Hindu-majority India. In a period of 2 years, millions of Hindus and Sikhs living in Pakistan left for India, while Muslims living in India fled villages where their families had lived for centuries. The cities of Lahore, Delhi, Calcutta, Dhaka, and Karachi emptied of old residents and filled with refugees. In the power vacuum British forces left behind, radicalized militias and local groups massacred migrants. Much of the violence occurred in Punjab, and women bore the brunt of it, suffering rape and mutilation. Around 100,000 women were kidnapped and forced to marry their captors. The problems created by partition went far beyond this immediate deadly aftermath. Many families who made temporary moves became permanently displaced, and borders continued to be disputed. In 1971, East Pakistan seceded and became the new country of Bangladesh. Meanwhile, the Hindu ruler of Kashmir decided to join India. a decision that was to be finalized by a public referendum of the majority Muslim population. That referendum still hasn't happened as of 2020, and India and Pakistan have been warring over Kashmir since 1947. More than 70 years later, the legacies of the partition remain clear in the subcontinent, in its new political formations, and in the memories of divided families.
Surprised guards to open the gates immediately. Rejoicing crowds poured into West Berlin as people from both sides danced atop the wall, and others began to demolish it with whatever tools they could find. Although the border guards initially tried to maintain order, it was soon clear that the years of division were at an end. After 4 decades, Germany was officially reunified in October 1990, and the Soviet Union fell soon after. Today, parts of the wall still stand as a reminder that any barriers we put up to impede freedom, we can also break down.